This is a story you were never taught in school. A covert operation that stayed hidden for years, and a decision that didn't just change one country, but reshaped global history. What if I told you that in 1953, a powerful intelligence agency quietly overthrew a democratically elected government without launching a full-scale war? And here's the part most people don't realize. The consequences of that operation are still unfolding today. This is the story of one of the most controversial missions ever carried out by the Central Intelligence Agency, Operation Ajax, the early 1950s, the height of the Cold War. The world was divided into two sides, the United States and the Soviet Union. Caught in the middle was a country rich in one of the most valuable resources on Earth, oil. That country was Iran. At the time, Iran's oil wasn't fully under its own control. It was dominated by a British company known as the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company. While foreign powers profited, many Iranians felt they were being left behind, excluded from their own wealth. Then came a man who would change everything, Mosaddegh, an educated nationalist leader determined to reclaim Iran's resources. In 1951, Mosaddegh made a bold and historic move. He nationalized Iran's oil industry. In simple terms, he took control back. But that decision would set off a chain reaction no one could stop. Britain reacted immediately. Economic sanctions were imposed. Iran was cut off from global markets. Pressure mounted from all sides, but Mosaddegh refused to back down. So Britain turned to an ally, the United States. At the time, American leaders were deeply concerned about the spread of communism. There was growing fear that instability in Iran could push it toward Soviet influence. And that's when the conversation changed. Instead of diplomacy, a covert solution was proposed. The CIA began planning a secret mission. Its objective was clear: remove Mosaddegh from power. The codename, Operation Ajax. This wasn't a war fought with tanks or missiles. It was a war of influence, perception, and control. The CIA deployed operatives inside Iran. Media outlets were manipulated. Propaganda campaigns were launched. Stories were planted to turn public opinion against Mosaddegh. He was portrayed as dangerous, unstable, even anti-religious. At the same time, protests began erupting in the streets of Tehran. But many of these demonstrations weren't organic. Crowds were organized. Money was distributed. Chaos was carefully engineered. Political figures were bribed. Military leaders were influenced. Day by day, the situation spiraled until finally the government collapsed. Mosaddegh was arrested, and just like that, a democratically elected leader was removed without a declared war. After Mossadegh's removal, power shifted back to the Shah of Iran, a monarch who maintained close ties with the West. For the United States and Britain, the mission was a success. Their influence was restored. Their strategic interests were secured. But for the people of Iran, it felt like something had been taken from them. Their democracy replaced. Operation Ajax didn't end in 1953. Its consequences echoed for decades. Resentment grew among the Iranian population. Trust was broken. And in 1979, everything changed. The Iranian Revolution erupted. Mass protests filled the streets. The Shah was overthrown. A new political system emerged. Even today, tensions between Iran and the United States can be traced back to that moment in history. A single covert operation with consequences that never truly ended. Operation Ajax raises a difficult question. Do powerful nations have the right to shape the political future of other countries? And if operations like this happened once, who's to say they aren't still happening today? This isn't just history. It's a reminder that some of the most important events in the world happen in the shadows.